There's an article in the New York Post, October 6, 2015 at 5:48 p.m. Caption reads, Tennessee County considers... say that again. Quote, Tennessee County considers asking for God's mercy for gay marriage, unquote. It's by Reuters. The article reads, quote, a county commission in Tennessee on Tuesday night will consider a resolution asking God to spare citizens from the wrath of God that may rain down on them as a result of the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling legalizing gay marriage. The resolution condemning judicial tyranny and petitioning God's mercy asked the state to join Royal Blount, that's Blount, County in fighting against the ruling and to protect natural marriage from lawless court opinions and the financial schemes of the enemies of righteousness. The resolution further requests that God passes by in his coming wrath and not destroy our county as he did Sodom and Gomorrah. According to text of the resolution published in the Tennessean newspaper, unquote. It's pretty funny, think about it. So they're afraid that God's wrath is going to come down and destroy the county. Destroy the county because of the U.S. Supreme Court ruling. That's funny. Yeah, and this is mainly all comes from from the state of Kentucky, the county clerk Kim Davis. So the question really is who is God? Is God God, or is God a judge? Well, let's say, for instance, hypothetically, let's say you just was convicted of butchering and murdering a bunch of people, right? And then you have your sentencing hearing in the criminal trial. And the judge, there's no jury, and the judge, well, a jury can also be the judge, but let's leave it at the judge. The judge is going to sentence this person to die, to receive the death penalty. In that moment there, and I'll even go you one better. Let's say it's happening in Blount County, in Blount County, in Marysville, which is just south of Knoxville, and it's happening in Tennessee. It's happening right here in the Blount County. This person is getting the death sentence from the judge. Why doesn't, at that moment, why doesn't God come between the judge and the criminal, or the convicted criminal? Why didn't he just say, wait, hold it here. No, not going to have this here. Wait, hold it here. The judge is wrong. I will pass judgment on this individual. And I'll even go you one better. How about if it's one of these guys, let's say they're petitioning the state. So let's say it's the resolution. This is what the resolution is called. Quote, resolution condemning judicial tyranny and petitioning God's mercy, unquote. Now that's the actual petition or the resolution. Okay, that's before the state. Okay, so let's say the person that created that. Okay. He's in a courtroom, and he's got to speak to the judge and try to convince the judge that it's best for the county not to have gay marriage. Let's say, hypothetically, of course, okay? Where's God there? Why doesn't God come down between the judge and this guy, the petitioner, and say, wait, hold it here. No longer do you have to listen to this judge anymore. The judge doesn't matter. I'm going to come down and be on the petitioner's side. I'll even go even one better. When Chief Justice John Roberts, along with the other people in the U.S. Supreme Court, ruled that gay marriage was okay, or was legal for all states to follow, where was God then? Why didn't God? I'm sure that if not all of the U.S. Supreme Court justices, I'm sure they all believe in God. So, and I'm sure they pray every so often and do all the religious stuff you're supposed to do, right? Why didn't God tell them in one of the prayers, or just, infiltrate their mind out of the blue, and tell them, by the way, you shouldn't pass this gay marriage because I'm God, and you listen to me. I'm the ultimate judge. You listen to me. And then the U.S. Supreme Court ruling would have been an anti-gay marriage ruling. So my question in this video is, a judge, an actual judicial judge, is actually real. It's real. And a real judge can actually make or break a case, or send you off the death row, or do all kinds of nasty stuff to you according to the law and to the facts of the case. And I ask you, where's God then? So it goes to the point that God is just a fantasy. It's just an idea of the mind. And here they are, there's some kind of resolution condemning judicial tyranny and petitioning God's mercy. Now, personally, I disagree with the U.S. Supreme Court ruling on gay marriage. I think it should be left to the states to decide on that. It's a contractual relationship between the state and the couple that's getting married. And that's where I stand at. But according to the U.S. Supreme Court ruling, which is the law of the land, regardless if it was driven by politics or it was, the thing to do presently, today, I'm sure they wouldn't have gotten away with that, 30 years ago. Through common law and things of that nature, things change. And judges as well change along with social change as well. So that's why law is very fluid. It's very fluid. Law is very fluid. That is, back in the 50s, U.S. Supreme Court ruling would never rule in favor of gay marriage. Well, it's 2015 now. So, and being as it's the law of the land, it affects everyone in all the states. The point is that a judge is real. In other words, the ruling is real. Every state, county, city, municipality, whatever have you, has to abide by this real ruling. And this resolution, or whatever the hell they're doing here, is a fantasy. Now, the irony of it all is why don't these people that have this resolution go to God and say, God, stop all this. Instead, what do? They go to the state. They go to the state lawmakers who are men, right? Who pass laws. Why don't they go to God? No, they go to a state lawmaker, a person. And so in other words, it's okay to pass a law that says that this county does not have, this Blount County does not have to abide by the U.S. Supreme Court ruling. So that law is okay, even though that's passed by a man or a woman, the state lawmaker. But it's not okay for the U.S. Supreme Court justices, which are basically lawmakers themselves, not in a strict sense of not lawmakers, but lately they have been making law. But still, they handed down a ruling, and they're basically quote-unquote state lawmakers. In other words, they interpret the Constitution, they interpret the facts, they look at the laws, and then they make their ruling. So when you look at it in a sense, in an abstract sense, yes, they are lawmakers. U.S. Supreme Court justices are lawmakers. So what I'm saying is that it's okay for state lawmakers to make a judgment against gay marriage, but yet the law or the U.S. Supreme Court, who are basically lawmakers in an abstract sense, cannot do the same thing on this issue. And that's a hypocrisy in there. But ultimately, I say, I'm going to end on this point, is why don't these people that are trying to get this resolution passed just go to God? I mean, if God is anti-gay marriage, then you would think that, this is the irony, right? The U.S. Supreme Court rulings affect all the states in America. Well, according to religious doctrine, God affects everyone around the world or in the universe or all the universes if there's other universes. So God can affect everyone. So why don't they take the resolution and go to God instead of to another lawmaker? So I'm going to put this video caption as God or judge. In other words, a judge is like a god. They can sentence you to death. They can make rulings that you will have to live by, you like it or not. Whereas, where's God? Where's God? Why don't these people go to God? Because he doesn't exist. In other words, God won't change a goddamn thing for any of these people that are part of this resolution. But who do they go to? They don't go to God. No, they go to man. Pretty ironic, isn't it? Anyway, let go of the video cam. Guys, have a good one.